So I'm just going to give you some headlines about KU basketball, and you're gonna fill in the blank for me. You're gonna fill in the blank for me. So the rules are basically this is not really, we're not really doing it like it used to be. It's just going to be, I'll just give you the headline and you explain why you would fill in the blanks with what they fill in with. So first off, funnily enough, you almost ruined actually part of the game, so I'm a little upset with you. But because you were already talking about it, I'm just going to go to it first. The first headline is Darren Peterson will be the blank ranked one and done player under Bill Self.
I mean, I'm just going to do it. I'll say number one. The hype is
okay.
Ridiculous, and I feel bad doing that, but yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, you mentioned Andrew Wiggins earlier and also Josh Jackson. What are some other good candidates you could throw in there?
Joel Embiid, but does that count? Ended up being Self's best player overall, but
Grady Dick, I guess.
Grady Dick was good. Xavier Henry's always underrated in some of these conversations, but wouldn't be up there with Wiggins and Jackson. Who are we missing?
Probably the main ones, the main contenders, I would say. I mean, if you were counting transfers, you could throw in Quentin Grimes.
Let's not do that one. Quentin Grimes turned into a great NBA player. Great play, and that's
what I'm saying. Like if you're counting that.
Among Bill Self players, since PER was a number, which was goes back to 2010, Quentin Grimes has the lowest PER of any Kansas player to play 20 or more minutes per game. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because he went on to be pretty successful at the college level.
Very good NBA player now for the NBA. Just had a great year this past year. Yeah, had a great time with Houston, made a Final Four, but not at Kansas.
Okay. Bill Self will coach at KU for blank number more seasons.
Ooh, I know. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. Explaining the answer. I know this is just supposed to be a short fill in the blank. I'm gonna say 3 more seasons. I'll say that this season, coaching Darren Peterson reignites him, gives him the next year, and then he's like, maybe this isn't as fun without Darren Peterson. He's like, I'll give it one more stab. I'll say 3 years. What would you do on that one?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think you kind of hit it on the head. I feel like it's one of two things. I feel like it's either this year maybe doesn't go very well for Kansas as a team, and they let's say they don't make it out of the first weekend again, and they finish middle of the pack in the Big 12. Then I would say that this could be his last year, truthfully. But on the flip side of that, what you mentioned, I think if Kansas ends up having a strong season with Darren Peterson sort of running the show, and he is the type of player that we think he might be, like we talked about, where he's an All-American caliber player. Maybe he's an All-Conference Player of the Year type guy. Kansas, finishes, maybe wins the conference or is top 2 or 3, gets another high seed, makes it to the second weekend. Then yes, I think it would be very easy for me to see Bill Self talking himself into a couple more seasons. And I think here's what I would say: if he coaches after Darren Peterson leaves, that will not be his last season. So I think he's either gone after next year or guaranteed 2 more years.
If they land Tyron Stokes, would you extend it a year?
Maybe. By the way, I saw a funny joke about so KU announced on Tuesday that they're going to go play an exhibition in against Louisville at the Yum Center, and KU and Louisville seem to be the top 2 teams for Tyron Stokes. Is that just the Tyron Stokes game? Whoever wins, Tyron Stokes.
That's what Tyron Stokes should do. He should say,
make it like make it like a Money in the Bank WWE ladder match style game where it's like Tyron Stokes hangs above. Like he hangs above the gym and they play.
Love that.
And then whoever wins gets to cut him down, I guess.
Let's bring him home in the plane too and stuff. And do you that would immediately become the most important game on KU's schedule up until the NCAA tournament, right? If you were playing for the number 1 recruit in the country for the following year.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Which is scary because obviously you look at what KU's done in exhibition games on the road the past 3 years. They've just gotten smoked in every single one of them. So I don't know that I would feel good about that. Okay. KU will add blank number of international players before the 2025 season begins. We've talked about it. They have 3 open slots. They have 3 open slots that we expect to fill. How many of those are filled by international players?
I feel good 1, but the question is, would it be 2? I'm going to say 1 and say that they fill out the rest of the roster with 2 college players, or maybe a college player and a player reclassifying in high school or something. I'll say 1 international.
Okay. Speaking of international players, there's one player that Kansas has been seemingly linked to recently, and that's he's from France, Bryce Desert, which leads me to my next headline. If Kansas were to land Bryce Desert, I don't know how to pronounce Desert. How many desert pun tweets would Derek Johnson make over the course of the season?
Too many would be the answer. By the way, yeah, so I don't know the pronunciation because it is dessert. And actually, did you know dessert is a French originating word? America took it from France, the word dessert.
I didn't even know that. No.
But if you were French, I'm gonna blow this. So if anybody actually like speaks French, they're gonna be like, ugh, stupid American. But anyway, it's pronounced like dessert or something like that. So I don't know if like, is he going to actually go by the American way of saying it if he comes over, or is he going to go by dessert? You know, I don't know what it'll be. But yeah, I'll make way too many puns and I will have so much fun with it. And honestly, like Kansas needs to do some sort of promotional thing with it, right? Like get like, I don't know, Silas and some local ice cream place.
Yeah, free ice cream.
Every block is like a free scoop or something like that.
100%. Yeah. Look, I got to be honest. When I went to KU, I got to my senior year and my advisor was like, hey, by the way, did you know that part of your graduation requirement is you need to take another foreign language class? And I was like, son of a bitch. No, I did not know that. So I am a senior at KU and I enrolled in French 110 or whatever. And it was legitimately like the hardest class I took at KU. Like it was an everyday class. It was me and, 17 other freshmen, and I'm sitting there in the back of the class like, I may fail this and I'm not going to get my degree because I can't pass French 110.
I just realized, is that a cheat code for like international players to get their GPA up or like to just take an easy class that they know they can without doing a lot of work? Like if you're from France, take French.
Well, so I will say, typically I think the way it works is like, if the professor recognizes that like you're clearly above, I think they can make you take like a special test to where you like test out of the lower classes.
Sandbag. I'm just saying, like this is an.
I mean, it is definitely not a bad idea.
Make the school a little bit easier for yourself.
It's definitely not a bad idea. Okay, going back to what we discussed at the start of the show, the Big 12 basketball tournament will be played in blank in 2040 when Brett Yormark has decided it's not going to be in Kansas anymore. Where they're going to play it?
No, I'll say Kansas City still because I don't think Brett Yormark will still be the commissioner of the Big 12 come 2040. Okay. Brett Yormark has always been like he has these big jobs, but he doesn't stay at them for 20 years. He might stay at them for 5, 7, 10 years. So I don't know that he's going to, I don't think this is his last job, point being.
So you think he'll, by the time he gets to 2040, he'll have gone to he'll have revitalized the Pac-12 and they're playing the Pac-12 tournament in Australia or something.
Dude, who knows? He'll have taken over golf and he'll have orchestrated the merge between LIV and the PGA that they've been talking about for years and years now. And then he'll have expanded it to now they're golfing on Mars or something. Yeah.
Dude, honestly, golfing on the moon would be crazy because you just hit the ball and it would just go forever, right?
Yeah, you'd hit an alien, years and light years away, and then all of a sudden get invaded by aliens.
I guess the concern would be if you hit it in the air, it would never come down, I guess.
So, no, it would just keep going. Yeah. Or what if you started the end of the world? You hit the golf ball, just kept going, eventually hit the sun moved just slightly.
Well, oh no. I don't think the golf ball would feel
something.
Wouldn't the sun just melt it and it would be nothing?
No, this is like a really good golf ball, obviously.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Last one here on the Florida Man Mad Libs KU basketball spinoff. Kansas basketball season will be blank because blank. So they will be blank. Like, how good will they be because of why?
Okay. Because dessert. No. It will be better.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to think how to phrase this, because of the dogs, going back to Melvin Council stuff about like if you're in a dog, you dog food, you have the stud player, you have the dogs around you. I don't know that they're going to be a 1 or a 2 seed, though. That still wouldn't surprise me because it still is a Bill Self team, even with these last 2 years and the blip on the radar it's been. But I do think they're going to be better than they were last year. And this is even without knowing what potential other impact players they could add to the roster.